Boulder Dash here, and this is Up on Up. Here, and I've got a quick quiz for you folks out there. Name me one president, just one, who has not, in some way or another, sinned against the American people. Or name me one president who has put the needs of the people, the American people, first, before the greed of corporations and the capitalist system. Name me one president who has not kept the status quo, solidifying 40% of the nation's wealth in the hands of the top 1% of the population. You can't you? I couldn't. Last 28 years, or the last 7 elections, dating back to Ronald Reagan, 40% or less of those eligible to vote voted, meaning that only 20 to 25% of the entire population got to choose the course of these here United States of America. Now comes President-elect Obama, our virgin president. I call him a virgin president because he has not been in the game as long as most. And isn't that why many of you and I voted for Obama? Because he shows the promise of a politician not corrupted by the system? That his youthfulness represents a dramatic change in the direction of our government of the people? Now, since November 5th, all the political pundits on both sides of the aisle have weighed in on what priorities the Obama administration should focus on. Concentration on the economy, foreign affairs, and members of Obama's cabinet, and where they will be urinating. Now, I just finished reading Howard Zinn's national bestseller, The People's History of the United States. And if you have not read it, I suggest you do before January 20th, or at least read the last 3 or 4 chapters. Now, if you're a boomer like me, or older, or even if you are a representative of our nation's youth, you must read this book. Not only does it dispel everything you and I were taught about American history and the well-meaning lies fed to us since grade 1, Zinn mirrors Obama's call for great sacrifice in order to change the course of our nation and its citizens. Now, if you're like me, you must feel absolutely betrayed by those in our government who voted on the side of big business and found billions and billions of dollars to bail out the 1% who are rich beyond anything we can imagine. How much longer can we continue to be complacent with the course of imperialism and corporatism being staged all around the world in the name of the American people? Can you imagine, like I do, and how Mr. Zinn imagines that the American people have a right to food, a right to housing, a right to health care, education, and transportation? Now, I agree with Zinn and Obama for that matter, that radical change is required by us all. First and foremost, I agree that society's levers of powers would have to be taken away from those whose drives have led to this present state. And I'm talking about the giant corporations, the military, and their political collaborators. Now, if Obama is the community organizer he says he is, Obama would have to agree with Zinn that decisions be made by small groups of people in their workplaces and their neighborhoods, a network of cooperatives in communication with one another. This would require combining the energy of all previous movements in American history, of labor, of civil rights, of women's suffrage, of young people, along with the energy of an angry middle class. Why do you think the die-hard Republicans made such a fuss over community organizers? It's because all through the history of these United States, the one-percenters knew that it was community organizers, whether they were in labor, civil rights, women's issues, or youth, were able to nudge the capitalist system their way, thus threatening the status quo of the 1% of the population that owns nearly 40% of the nation's wealth. Finally, Zinn makes a statement that no one can deny. Whether you're a Republican or a Democrat, whether you're a left or right-wing nut job, non-religious or Christian fundamentalist, that modern warfare is war against children. Let me repeat that. Modern warfare is war against children. Just take a gander at any of the death statistics since the Korean War, and you'll find civilians, especially children, are at the top of the list. Are we as a nation to secure the right to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness for our own children only? What's your opinion? I'd really like to know.